Hi, I'm James and welcome to today's review. Today we're going to look at something a bit different. We're going to look at Rory's story cubes. Now, I came across these as a concept for role-playing games, but I'm going to look at it as a very simple game first. Now I've gone out and bought the deluxe box. Now the deluxe box, we've got the standard set of cubes. But we've also got some expansions. We've got Mythic, Prehistoria, Medic, Clues, Fright and Score. So I'm going to put them to one side for a minute and just show you how the basic works. So this is designed to basically get kids storytelling. Now if you're a role player, does that sound vaguely familiar? Now in the starter box you've got 9 dice, and the idea is there is an instruction guide, but to be honest, it's that simple you don't need it. What you do is you roll the dice and you have to make up a story. So what have we got? We've got sleeping, planet, fish, magnet, star, walking stick, what looks like a letter, a bee, and I think probably a beetle. So the idea is you start off by telling a story. So once upon a time there was, and this is not going to be a very advanced story, we'll have a beetle who was dreaming and dreamed he was a fish, and the fish swam all over the planet, and he would send letters back to his friend the bee. Now I've still got a few left here. What am I going to do with these? The bee could find his way round because he was using a magnet to identify which way was north. However, he was starting to get old and lose that ability. The beetle, who is now thinks he is a fish, saw a wishing star and used that to make the bee able to find his way around again. That's the sort of thing that it's designed to do. It's just designed to encourage a bit of creativity. No doubt you could probably come up with a better story than that. But let's think of it from a role-playing perspective. This can be used in a lot of different ways. Some of the ideas that I've thought up, and I've got no doubt that people will think of more, is we can look at things like encounters, we can look at adventures and motivations. So what we're going to do, let's say we're going to do an encounter. We don't have to roll all the dice, I'm just picking 3 completely at random. So what happens in this encounter? We've got a fire, a fountain, and a walking stick. So we're looking for an encounter. What we'll have is the players are searching for the fountain of youth to try and cure old age. However, I'm going back now, thinking back to reading Rider Haggard when I was younger. It's not a fountain, it's actually a flame. And as they go through the encounter, they will come to realise it is the flame, not the fountain. So that's one example. Let's try another one. Okay. Oh, that's a nut. Now, some reviews have said these symbols can be a bit awkward. They don't understand what they are. You could argue that's a compass. You could use it as a chaos symbol. We've got a tower and a pyramid. Okay, so let's go for a more modern type of game then. We're going to have the players encounter a tower block. We'll call that a tower. In there is a strong chaos influence that changes it partway through into a pyramid. So you can see how that works. Let's say we've got an NPC. We'll grab a couple of dice. We'll just use 2 dice for this one. What's their motivation? Okay, so we've got an abacus and a clock. So perhaps it's an older NPC who is nearing the end of his life, he's running short of time, and he's absolutely desperate to make a fortune before he does. Why is he trying to have a fortune? Let's pick another one. Okay, fish. That's an interesting one. He's trying to create the fortune to have the largest collection of fish that he could create, to become famous that way. That's probably clutching a little bit at straws, but you can see how it will work. So let's say we're going to create an adventure. We'll go for 4 dice for this one. Let's see what we've got. We've got bridge, a forest, lightning, and a sheep. Well, they're quite useful ones. So, okay, I'm inspired a little bit by the Black Cauldron series by Lloyd Alexander, and what has happened, the players, first level characters, are searching for a lost sheep. The sheep has got lost during a thunderstorm, and to find the sheep they're going to have to journey over the bridge and into the forest. So you can see how the inspiration is going to work. So let's have a look at some of the other dice. Mythic. Now this is going to be quite useful for gamers, I would have thought. Now the sets, you get the little mini sets of 3 and you get the large ones of 9. Be careful, because some of the 9s are made up of 3 sets of the 3. So let's try a mythic one, see what we get. So we've got a wooden horse, Medusa, and a Minotaur. Hey, if you're playing ancient Greece, that's good. That's a nice, easy one. So let's try another set of those, because I quite like these. We've got a Viking boat. I'm not quite sure what the face is meant to represent, and a trident. Oh, is that a Viking boat? Could be Greek. This is what I like. The symbols can be interpreted. So what we're going to have then is, I'm going to use that as a face that's blowing. I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see it a little bit better. I know it's not quite, but I'm going to have that as a face blowing wind. And the players are travelling. They upset Poseidon, who sends a strong wind that blows them off course. You okay? I'm rifting off the Odyssey there. So you can see how they work. What else have we got? We've got prehistory. Prehysteria. Let's have a look what we've got in that one. If you notice, the colours are slightly different on the dice. That's quite useful for mixing them up and then storing them back. And the actual faces are nice. They're recessed, so they should last quite some time. So let's see what we get with 3 prehistory ones. So we've got, I'm not sure what that is, whether that's waves. We've got, well, my first thought of that one is it's Pokemon sticking their head out of a hole, and we've got a fossil. So what can we do with that one? Okay, it's a bit harder. So what we'll have is the players, and rather than using that as a desert, as a sea, I'm going to use that as a desert. So they're crossing the desert where they encounter 3 strange creatures who are searching for a fossil. So you can see how that one's going to work. What else should we look at? Medic. Yeah, probably going to be more useful for science fiction and modern role-playing games. Let's see what we get. So I've got parachuting in supplies, plasters, and an ambulance. So with that one, the PCs encounter something that's beyond their first aid skills. They are going to require further medical help, which has to be parachuted in, which then needs to be recovered. Let's have a look. Clues. Let's see what we've got in that one. So again, we've got a random one. We've got a chess piece, a file, and a web. Okay, so we're looking perhaps at a conspiracy where a chess player has vanished because he's come across some secret information while playing a chess match behind the Iron Curtain. Let's have a look. Fright. Let's see what we get with this one. Probably more a horror based one. So we've got a ghost, a villain. No idea what that one is. let's say it's a brain for the purpose of this. So what we're going to have then, the main villain is trying to find a brain, and to do that he's sent out ghosts, or perhaps the ghost is the ghost of the person whose brain he's seeking. So we've got that, and then the last set that came in this starter set, we've got scores. Now these tend to be more sports based ones, so let's have a look what we get with that. So we've got a referee or a linesman, we've got a ball of some description, and we've got a kayak. Okay, so let's try and turn that into something role-playing wise. That's probably going to be a little bit harder. We've got the players travelling by sea to find a lost object. In this case it's going to be a sphere, we'll use that, but they're going to be interfered with by a guild whose rules don't let them find that. So you can see it's nice as I just throw random things in. So you can mix the dice obviously, so let's try creating a mini encounter. I'm going to go for a fantasy game. We'll grab a couple of each of those, and we'll have a couple of dice there. We'll go for a fright one as well. Let's see what we get. So we've got a minotaur, we've got a trap, a chest, desert, magic, fright, and a lightning bolt. Okay, so this looks quite a good one. So let's assume the players this time have to travel across a desert. They are looking for a maze, because hidden in the maze is a treasure which is magical, and it's a wand of lightning bolts. There we go. Now unfortunately they're going to encounter traps, and eventually the ultimate nightmare at the end of it, they're going to encounter a minotaur. And there we go, we've actually created an adventure on the spot. Now these are quite nice little sets. There are some specific ones out there. I've ordered the Batman set. I thought that might just be a bit of fun. There's a Star Wars set, Voyage, Mystery, there's a Harry Potter set, space sets. You're getting the idea. But what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to create a competition, and I'm going to put a prize up for it. We'll go for a Drive Thru RPG or Wargames Vault voucher. I'll be nice, we'll make it a $20 value. And what you're going to have to do is to come up with an encounter based on the dice that I'm now going to roll. So this is going to be completely random. I will run the competition up until the 31st of December 2021 and finish it at midnight UK time. There we go, that's getting nice and specific. And what you have to do is to put your story in the comments. So what am I going to use? We'll have a mystery. We'll have the other mythic one we haven't used. We'll go for a couple from there. We'll have a medical one in. A couple of those. How many we got? 7. Let's go for a full 9. We'll have a travel one since we've not got a travel one in. Sorry, sport one in, and we'll have another standard one. So we'll move those dice out of the way. This is what you have to create this story on. So I will put a nice close-up shot of this, but this is going to be quite interesting. I think there is some nice variety in there. I'm not going to say what they are, because I think if I say what they are it limits you. So I'm going to put those up, and good luck in your entry, and I'll see you soon for another review.